When I think about like the history of racism, I'm fascinated by racism as a concept, as an action, policy. All of it fascinates me. I read these stories in history. And one of the most fascinating things I read about recently, one of the most fascinating places, was a place called Rochester, New York, where, genuinely, this blew my mind, where they had a city which was basically dedicated to rehabilitating people who had escaped slavery. All right? So black people who had escaped the South, got into the North, were rehabilitated at this place. Frederick Douglass wrote many of his works there. The suffragette movement kicked off there. It's a powerful, powerful little place. And like I was reading these stories, and what they would do is, slaves would escape from the South. They'd make their way to the North. They would get to Rochester. The Underground Railroad would get them there. And then they would rehabilitate them, put them on boats, and send them to Canada so that they could live free. And I was like, it's a fascinating story for two reasons. One, to remind you that there were a lot of good people, white people out there, because a lot of time I get angry at white people, and then I'm like, no, there's good ones, calm down. And the second part of it that was amazing was that they convinced black people to get back on boats. I think that's one of the most amazing stories I've ever read. Because, like, do you know how convincing you'd have to be to convince someone who's they've just escaped slavery? Think about that for a second. Somebody's just escaped slavery. They've made their way there, finally. All right? They wake up after one night of free sleep. And they walk out and it's just like, hey, man, I just want to say thank you so much for everything you did for me, man. Well, you know what, my friend? Nobody deserves to live the way you lived, and I'm glad we got you out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, my friend. Okay, all we got to do now is get you some paperwork, get you cleaned up, and put you on a boat, get you to Canada, and you can live a free life, and everything's going to be better. I'm sorry, hold up. Yeah, could you come again? What did you say? Oh, I know, the paperwork thing is weird, but we got to get you some identification. No, you said something about a boat? Yeah, we're going to get you on a boat so you can get to Canada. Yeah, I don't, we don't do boats no more. I don't know if you know our history, but me and my people, we took a cruise one time. That shit didn't go so well. So, yeah, we got to find another way to get to Canada, if you don't mind. No, but the boat is the best way for us to get there from Rochester. Yeah, that might be the best way for y'all, but we gonna walk. Hell, we can run real good. We can run, but we ain't getting on no boat. My friend, you got to get on the boat. Man, I ain't got to do shit. I just got free. Imagine if I get on that boat and on the other side I'm in the same place. What they gonna say to me? Why'd you get on that boat? Because he was real nice. Oh, hell no. I ain't getting on no boat. Well, you gotta get on the boat, though. You're free now. You gotta get over this. Look, man, maybe one day in a few hundred years, one of my descendants named Kanye West will be over this shit, but I ain't over it right now. So I ain't getting on no boat. We gotta get you on the boat, damn it! I'm not getting on no boat! And that was the day the phrase "nigga please" was invented. A white man turned and he was like, "Nigger please, I need you on that boat!" And that story was passed down generation to generation. Black person to black person, free man to free man. So then that white man got down on his knees and he said, "Nigga, please. Nigga, please, nigga, please. I ain't never heard that phrase before in my life. Nigga, please, nigga, please, nigga, please." I know that's probably a phrase Barack Obama used at least once in the White House. At least once. Like, Mr. President, do you think Trump is because of you? Do you think you caused this? Oh, nigga, please. Just one time. One time I know he used it. Mexicans, it's Muslims. If it's not Muslims, it's Africans from shithole countries. And that one was my favorite personally, because I am an African and I've shat in a hole. I also liked it because people came up to me and asked me questions. There was one man who came up to me after a show, really concerned. He was like, "Trevor, hey, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah, go ahead, my friend." He said, "Hey, Trevor, I just wanted to know when Donald Trump says all these horribly racist things, do you sometimes just want to, pack it up, leave America, go back to South Africa and escape all this racism?" I said, my friend, you don't go to South Africa to escape racism. That's where you go to stock up. Are you kidding me? That's the one thing that reminds me of home. Racism out here. Because we've got tons of racism in South Africa. And don't get me wrong, it's gotten a lot better. You know, when I was growing up, we had apartheid. And, you know, apartheid was basically the best racism in the world. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I mean, now you're going to feel bad and be like, oh, racism was the best. No, it wasn't. It was good, but not the best. And I experienced a bunch of racism, and everyone did. I never felt like it was a bad thing, mostly because of my family. You know, my mother is a black woman, Xhosa woman. My father's Swiss from Switzerland. And them being a couple was against the law, and that was a problem for us living together. And so we experienced a ton of racism. And in case you're wondering, yes, Xhosa is one of the languages with the clicks in it, right? Xhosa, but not like in American movies, just so you know. Yeah, I've seen those movies where they have Africans and they're like, that's not a language. Yeah, even we watch those movies and we're like, I wonder what they are saying, yeah? Where are they from? I think they're from Cleveland. It's not just clicks. The clicks are consonants. We still have vowels. Yeah, I grew up in this family, and we couldn't live together. I could live with my mom, but my dad obviously couldn't live with us because it was illegal. And people would be racist to us all the time. But I was really lucky growing up because my mom is probably the most gangster human being you'll ever meet in your life. Right? Nothing got to her. Nothing fazed her. And I remember one day in particular, we were walking through the streets together, and some guy across the road shouted something really mean at us. And I was about 4 or 5 years old. And I turned and I looked at my mom and I said, Mommy, what do we do if people do the racism to us? And my mom said, oh, baby, you know what we do if somebody's racist? We take that racism of theirs and we shake it up with the love of Jesus. And then we send it back. And I was like, what? And I was like, this lady's crazy. And she was crazy, but she was also right. Yeah. I didn't even realize how right my mother was until decades later, which I feel is what always happens with your parents, right? They're crazy, and then you get to their age, and you're like, oh, that's what it means. I only learned the lesson my mother was trying to teach me when, as a grown man, I was walking through the streets of Chicago, minding my own business. Some guy drove by in a pickup truck and called me the N-word. And I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed. Mostly because he was driving a pickup truck. Yeah, I just felt like that was an unnecessary stereotype that he didn't need to perpetuate. You know? I feel like if you're gonna be racist, do something different. You know? Think outside the box. Drive a Prius. Yeah. It's better for the environment, and it's quiet. You can sneak up on me. We both win. But no, the guy was driving a pickup truck, called me the N-word, and oh, to give you the full story, I was jaywalking, right? I was jaywalking, yeah. And I don't tell you this to justify what he did. I just want you to know that I'm no angel, okay? Yeah. I was crossing the road, and then the light turned red for me, but I decided to walk anyways because I don't see color. And this man was so offended by what I had done that he drove his truck around me, rolled the window down, looked me dead in the eye, and he was like, "Get out of the road, nigger!" Oh, and you could see he wanted to hurt me. We locked eyes, and I could see in that moment he was waiting for me to be like, no. But what that man didn't know was where I was from. More importantly, who he didn't know was my mother. Because he thought it was just going to be a regular racist day. He thought he was going to drive by, throw the N-word out the window, carry on with his life. He didn't realize that was the son of Patricia stepping into the road. And it happened in a moment, but it lasted a lifetime. Because I didn't even think. He shouted that word, and out of nowhere, my body was like... I was like, oh shit, this is it! And let me tell you something, LA, it was so beautiful because I didn't plan it, I didn't think about it. All I know is I stepped into the road, he drove his truck around me, rolled the window down, looked me dead in the eye, and he was like, get out of the road, nigger! And I turned and I was like, you my nigga! And he almost crashed and died. Yeah, I've never seen a human being question themselves so many times in a split second in my life, right? Because I was smiling, and I could see in his face, he was like, wait, do I know you? Do I look like someone you know? And I don't know why he did this, but I'll never forget it. He looked at his hands. He looked at his hands like they'd somehow magically turned black, like I had cursed him with a nigger bomb. I don't even know what he was thinking. Oh, I actually felt bad for him, man. Because I've been called that word before, but that was his first time. Like, you never forget your first time, you know? Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm not gonna what? Is that what he wants? He wants to throw the word at me and then my day is spoiled? Is that how it works? And we'll be like, nigger, and I'm like, I'm a nigger, come here, nigger. I don't have time for that, man. My mom always used to say, she said, you can't control what people do to you, but you can control how you react. So I promised myself, I said, I'll never give a racist person the pleasure of seeing my pain. It may be painful, may be hurtful, but I won't give them the pleasure of seeing my pain. Someone says something racist, I take that racism, shake it up with the love of Jesus, send it right back. And don't get me wrong, it's not always easy. Is that what that is? Yeah, probiotic of my pain. Because we don't have that in our supermarkets for obvious reasons. No one warned me in America. I walked down the dairy aisle. I was like, oh, yogurt, ice cream. Ah! This lactose is intolerant. So it's different around the world, and I get that. You know, it's a privilege I have in dealing with the N-word. You know, in South Africa, no one was called a nigger. All over Africa, no one was oppressed using that word. So that word has no power. Anywhere you go, nigger, 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 nothing. You know? Whereas right now, I can feel the tension in this room. I can feel it. Yeah, some people are like, God damn it, what is it, like 7 times? I get it, Trevor. That's my quota for the year. Come on. I get it. It actually got me thinking that maybe we could use that discrepancy to help each other out. We'll create a program where you guys send all of your racist people to Africa just once a year.
Because Africans will roast the shit out of them.
The best part about Africa is you don't even have to wait. You know, you just get off the plane, there's black people everywhere. Just jump straight in, just be like, nigger, nigger, nigger. Yeah, and because Africa is run and owned by black people, they're not afraid of white people there. They'll just be like, ah, Jimbo, he's back, the nigger man. How are you, nigger? God damn it, I keep telling you, you're the nigger, but you're the one who always says it. Ah, nigger man. Yeah, you nigger. Put on some sunscreen before you die, nigger. Let's go party. It'll be different, that's all I'm saying. It's always weird for me, I won't lie, because although no one used that word in a derogatory way, the word nigger in South Africa does exist, technically, all right? But in my mom's language, Xhosa, the word nigger means to give. That's what nigger means in Xhosa. That's how you use it. Mna, nzo nigga wena. Wena, uzo nigga yena. Tina, sizo nigga bona. Nigger. Yeah. So not only does that word not hurt me, but when racist people use it on me, all they end up doing is bringing back fond memories of my childhood. Yeah. I get flashbacks to when I was a little kid.